The learning is the Nishmas Etta Ahuva bas Yaakov. Maseches Nedarim Perek Gimel Mishna Hey. Harei netilas ha'elu carbon im einen exasus. These trees should be like a carbon if they don't get cut down. Or he says talazu carbon im einen esrefes. This talus should be like a carbon if it doesn't get burnt. So the Gemara explains the case is that a person sees that there's a strong wind that's about to blow down his tree. And he says that if the trees don't get blown down today, they don't get cut down today, then I want the tree to be Kaddish. Or he sees that there's a fire coming and is about to burn up his talus. So he says, if they don't wind up getting burnt up, I want them to be Kaddish. So the halacha is, Etta becomes Kaddish, and he has to use the money to buy with it a carbon. And Yesh Lahem pigeon, because Kedushas Bedek Habayis, you could be Paideh. The Sefer, the Mishnah says, Harei Nitiyas Elu Carbon Ad Sheyiksitsu. Over here he says that I want it to be Kaddish until they get cut down. Or by the Talus Zu Carbon, he says Ad Shetisar, if I want it to be Kaddish until it winds up getting burnt. So now the halacha is Ein Lahem Pigeon, meaning that even if I use, I'm Paideh and I use money to give as a carbon, the talus still remains kaddish until it actually gets burnt, because I use the word ad shetisarif, where the tree has kedusha until it gets cut down. There's a machlekes in the Gemara if after it winds up getting cut down or it gets burnt, do I actually have to be paideh? Bar Pada says you have to be paideh, and Ula says no, once it gets cut down, it doesn't even need pigeon. One other ukimta in the Gemara is that which we say that if you're paideh doesn't help and it becomes kaddish again automatically until it gets burnt or until it gets cut down, that's dafka if you yourself are paideh. But if someone else would go ahead and be paideh, then it wouldn't be kedusha, then the pediyah would work. Mishnah Vav Hanoider miyarder hayam muter b'yoshvei hayabasha. If someone makes a neder that he's not going to have anah from those sailors that come from the sea, the halacha is he's only usher to have anah from those people, but not from the people that live on the dry land. But if he says he's not going to have anah from those that live on the dry land, then he's also usher b'yard hayam, because all sailors that are yard hayam, they also live on the dry land. In the end of the Mishnah ends off with the words Loi ke'elu shaholchem me'aka liyafa. We're not talking about sailors that go on a short trip from Akka to Yafa, along the edge of Eretz Yisrael, from the north, going a little bit down south, from Akka to Yafa. Ella b'mi shedarko lefarish. We're talking about someone who the derech is that he goes on long trips. So in the Gemara, there's two ways how to learn this. Either it's going on the Reisha, then in the Reisha he said that I'm making a neder from the sailors, he's mutter b'yoshvei hayabasha, but the sailors itself, he is asar. On that we're saying he's not asar from the sailors that are only taking short trips, me'aka liyafa, he's only asar b'mi shedarka lefarish, only from sailors that take long trips. And the other way to learn in the Gemara, Igadamasila Seifa, the Seifa was where he makes a neder that he's asering himself from yoshvei hayabasha, and we said that he's asar even b'yardei hayam, because they are also yoshvei hayabasha. And that we're saying it's not only the yardei hayam that take short trips that he's asking himself, afilu, even the ones that are darke lefarish, even on those he's aser, because everyone winds up living on the dry land sometimes, and therefore he's asering hana even from those people.